Black child walked into court as dad's lawyer, then won the case with one question. The courtroom fell silent the moment the doors opened. Everyone expected to see a seasoned attorney walking beside Marcus Johnson, a hardworking father facing the biggest legal battle of his life. Instead, an 11-year-old black boy stepped through the doors carrying a worn leather briefcase. People stared. A reporter whispered, "Is this some kind of joke?" Someone in the gallery chuckled. Even the opposing attorney smiled with confidence. Marcus placed a reassuring hand on the boy's shoulder. "This is my son, Elijah." The judge adjusted his glasses. "And who exactly is the young man?" Marcus smiled proudly. "My greatest reason to keep fighting." The room grew quiet. No one knew that before the day was over, the boy would ask one simple question that would change everything. Marcus Johnson had worked as a city bus mechanic for nearly 20 years. He never missed work. He volunteered at neighborhood food drives. He spent weekends fixing elderly neighbors' cars for free. Money was never plentiful, but kindness always was. After Marcus's wife passed away from cancer, he raised Elijah alone. Every evening they shared dinner, homework, and one important lesson. "Always tell the truth," Marcus would say, "even when the truth is difficult." Elijah listened carefully. He admired his father more than anyone in the world. Then everything changed. One afternoon Marcus was accused of stealing expensive diagnostic equipment from the city garage. Security footage showed someone wearing clothing similar to his. A dishonest supervisor blamed Marcus to cover his own mistakes. Within days Marcus lost his job. Soon afterward he was taken to court. Without a steady income, hiring an expensive attorney became nearly impossible. Still, Marcus refused to lose hope. Every evening Elijah sat beside his father at the kitchen table. Instead of watching cartoons, he read books about the justice system. He borrowed biographies of famous lawyers from the public library. He watched real courtroom proceedings online. Not because he wanted attention. Because he wanted to understand how truth could be hidden, and how it could be found again. One night Marcus noticed stacks of legal books beside Elijah's bed. "What are you doing?" Elijah smiled. "Learning how to help you." Marcus laughed softly. "You don't have to carry my burdens." Elijah looked into his father's eyes. "You've carried mine since the day I was born." Marcus couldn't find the words to answer. He simply hugged his son. The trial finally arrived. Marcus had managed to find a volunteer defense attorney named Sarah Mitchell. She was experienced, honest, and determined. Before entering the courtroom, she noticed Elijah carrying neatly organized folders. "Those are impressive." Elijah nodded. "I organized every timeline and every witness statement." Sarah smiled. "You'd make a great assistant." Elijah answered, "I just want people to know who my dad really is." Inside the courtroom the city's lawyer presented a confident case. Security images, payroll records, witness statements, everything appeared to point toward Marcus. The audience shook their heads. It looked hopeless. Then Sarah began cross-examining witnesses. One by one, small inconsistencies appeared. Times didn't match. Reports had been edited. Important maintenance logs were missing. Still, the evidence wasn't enough. The judge announced a short recess. Sarah sat down beside Marcus. "I need something stronger." Marcus sighed. "I don't know what else there is." Elijah quietly opened his notebook. He had noticed something everyone else had overlooked. When court resumed, Sarah asked permission to introduce one additional observation prepared by her assistant. The judge looked surprised. "Your assistant?" She smiled. "My youngest one." The courtroom turned toward Elijah. Some people laughed again. The judge allowed it. Elijah walked calmly to the front holding a single photograph taken from the security footage. He wasn't trying to act like a lawyer. He simply wanted everyone to see what he had seen. He looked toward the supervisor who had accused his father. Then he asked one respectful question. "Sir, if my dad stole the equipment, why is he still wearing his wedding ring in the video? When everyone here knows he stopped wearing it after his hands were injured at work 2 months before this picture was taken." Silence. Complete silence. The supervisor's face lost its color. The judge leaned forward. Sarah immediately requested the original unedited video. Technicians displayed the high-resolution recording. The image became clearer. The person in the video wasn't Marcus. It was someone wearing similar clothing. The wedding ring was clearly visible. Marcus hadn't worn one in months because his swollen finger made it impossible. The courtroom gasped. Then another detail appeared. The real thief had a tattoo visible beneath his sleeve. Marcus had no tattoo. The supervisor looked down. His hands trembled. Finally he admitted the truth. He had blamed Marcus to protect a relative who actually stole the equipment. The courtroom erupted with whispers. The judge called for order. After reviewing the evidence, he dismissed every charge against Marcus Johnson. Then he looked toward Elijah. "Young man, you reminded this courtroom that careful observation matters. But more importantly, you reminded us never to underestimate someone because of age." Marcus fell to his knees and hugged his son tightly. Neither of them cared about the cameras. For a long moment, father and son simply cried. Outside the courthouse, reporters surrounded them. One journalist asked Elijah, "How did you know to ask that question?" Elijah smiled. "My dad always says, the truth is usually hiding in the little things." Another reporter asked Marcus, "What kept you going?" Marcus looked at his son. "Hope, and the belief that kindness always comes back." News of the case spread quickly. The city publicly apologized. Marcus received his job back with full back pay. The dishonest supervisor resigned and later faced legal consequences for his actions. But Marcus surprised everyone. Instead of celebrating with anger, he asked the city to create a scholarship for students interested in law, ethics, and public service. "It should help children who believe fairness matters," he said. The mayor agreed. The first scholarship was named after Elijah Johnson. Years later, Elijah graduated from law school. On his first day as a licensed attorney, he carried the same old leather briefcase into the courthouse. The security guard smiled. "I remember you. You were the little boy who changed a trial with one question." Elijah laughed. "I was just trying to help my dad." The guard nodded. "And now you'll help a lot more people." Elijah looked at the courtroom doors. He knew justice wasn't about winning every case. It was about making sure every voice had a chance to be heard. Because sometimes, the smallest voice asks the biggest question. And sometimes, one honest question is all it takes to reveal the truth. The world often measures people by their age, their appearance, or the color of their skin. But character has no age. Wisdom has no size. And courage can walk into a courtroom carrying nothing more than hope, love, and the determination to stand beside someone who never stopped believing in what was right.